Okay. Well, thank you for joining me today. It's lovely to see you all. And we're going to go ahead and just get started today with a little bit of breath work to warm ourselves up. I'm actually going to take this off since nobody's in the room with me here. And I think you can hear me a little bit better. But just take a comfortable position wherever you are. We want to just start to bring some mindfulness to our bodies, how our bodies are feeling, what we're about to do. So you can keep your eyes open or you can close your eyes. But let's just take a nice deep breath in, trying to feel that belly expand with air, and then a nice long exhale. We'll do that again. Nice deep inhale. And how are your shoulders feeling right now? Do they feel tense or are they relaxed? Are your shoulders dropping away from your ears? Long exhale. Let's do that again. Nice long inhale. And then just bring some awareness to your face. Is your jaw relaxed? We just want to try to, with our exhale, get rid of any sort of tension that we might have brought to class with us. Let's do one more. Nice deep inhale. And a nice long exhale. Good. And now we're going to do some head nods. So we're going to just look down, leading with our eyes, and then we're going to lead with our eyes looking up, and our head will follow. And we're going to do that a couple of times. Look up, and look back down. Up, good. We'll do two more rounds with this, looking down, and up, and down, and up. Excellent. Now we're going to take our head to the right and to the left. And so I'm going to look over my right shoulder, and I'm going to allow my shoulders to turn so that I can look toward the back wall, just as far as you can go. So don't overstretch, but we just want to have a nice rotation. Your torso should be feeling loose. Good. And we'll go over to the right. And left. Again, our eyes are starting the movement and our head follows. We'll do one more time to the right. Hi. And to the left. Excellent job. All right, so let's go ahead and we'll come up to a standing position. We're going to do just a little bit of balance work. All right. So we're gonna just have your chair close by if you want it, but what we're gonna do is just firmly root our left foot into the floor. So kind of grab that floor with your toes. And so if you have a shoe on, just get through that sole of your shoe. And then we're just gonna lift that right leg up. And we're just gonna hold it, and you can have your leg up to hip height if that's comfortable. Lower is okay too. And I just want you to bring your attention to the muscles in the left leg, primarily the muscles in the back of the leg, your hamstring, and then your glute as well. And maybe just give that left butt cheek a little squeeze. See if you can feel that. And just give appreciation to that leg for holding you up and your core for helping you to balance. Well done. All right, we're going to switch to the other side. So we're just going to take a moment to root our right foot to the floor, really try to feel the energy beneath your feet. We're going to lift that leg up and just hold. And maybe just see if you can take your hand off of whatever is supporting you, but leave it close by. Good. Bring attention and awareness to that right leg, to your hamstring and the glute. Just hold you up, feel. Kind of squeeze that right butt cheek a little bit, so you can feel the glutes fire. Very nice. And then you might even feel a little more stable once you have done that and engaged those muscles. All right, let's just lower that back down. Good. All right, and then we're going to finish with some cross connects before we start our first segment. So in a cross connect, we're just making contact with our opposite hand and knee. Or If you have the mobility, you can lift your legs a little higher. We might touch our opposite forearm to our quad, maybe even our elbow to our quad, okay? Just depending on what your mobility is. And at the beginning of class, sometimes we're still a little bit stiff and we can't get it up that far, but by the end of class, we'll be able to get that elbow to the quad. Good, let's do 10 more here. There's 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, and 10. Good. All right, I'm just going to move my chair a little bit out of the way for a second. We're going to do a series of just kind of total body exercises. We'll be focusing on legs, but also just trying to get our heart rate up a little bit. We're going to start slow though. So the first exercise we're going to do is 20 hamstring curls, and I also call these butt kickers if you've been in my class before. So we're just going to really simply bring your heel toward your bottom, okay? And if we're just getting warmed up, go ahead and just keep your hands on your hips. That was 10 already. We're going to do 10 more. You're also welcome to start to incorporate the arms if you feel up for it, okay? We're going to do 4 more, 3, 2, and 1. Now we're going to go right into a march, okay? So again, we can have our hands on our hips depending on how we're feeling this morning. If you're already feeling kind of warmed up, you can go ahead and incorporate those arms in kind of a swinging position. Let's do about 8 more. 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, and 8. Okay, we're going to get to try those cross connects one more time, okay? We're going to do 20 of those. Okay, 7, 8, 9, 10, 10 more, and 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, last one. So the last exercise in this first segment is going to be, we call it a ground zero jump. We don't jump. We're going to hinge at the hips. So my knees are staying above my heels. I'm going to swing my arms back, and I'm going to come up, bring my arms overhead. But if you have any shoulder mobility issues, you're just going to bring your arms, you're just going to curl them, okay? So we're going to do 10 of these. So we'll swing our arms back. And there's up 1. And then when you go to your full extension and your hands are over your head, I just want you to quickly squeeze all of the muscles in your body. Tighten everything up. Bring your belly in towards your spine. Squeeze those glutes. Let's do 2 more after this. There's 1. And last one. Good. Okay, we're going to do those 4 exercises 2 more times. So we're going to start with the butt kicker, the hamstring curl. And so we'll just increase our tempo slightly, and we're going to incorporate arms so that we start to get our heart rate pumping, okay? All right, so let's go ahead with those hamstring curls. I'm just going to cross my hands in front of me. You're welcome to do whatever you want. 7, 8, good, 9. We're going to do 10 more, and we're going to go right into marching. 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, right into marching, okay? So we're going to swing those arms this time. You can even make a fist and kind of pump your arms. Just kind of building that tension in your arms. It helps, and it makes us feel a little bit more engaged with the movement. Let's do 2 more. Good. And then we go right into our cross connects. And so by now, you might be finding that you can lift your leg a little higher and maybe make contact with your forearms. Good job, you guys. That looks amazing. Very good. We have 6 more, and 2, 3, 4, 5, last one. Good. We're going to do our 10 ground zero jumps. So again, we're going to hinge the waist, torso comes toward the floor, and we swing up. Good. And 2, beautiful. 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, last one. Excellent. We're going to start at the top again with our hamstring curls. Okay, so we're 20, So if you went a little bit too hard that last round, you can just take it a little slower here or take the arms out of the equation, okay? But if you're feeling like you're doing just a nice build-up, you can maybe increase your tempo a little bit or your arm swing. All right, let's go into our marches. And make a nice intentional march with flexed arms. Good. Let's do 8 more. 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, and 8. Excellent. Okay, so we're going to do our cross connects one more time. And we'll take a little break from these. 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. 6 more. 1 more each side. Good. All right, now we're going to go to our ground zero jumps for 10. Here we go. Swing those arms back with a hinge. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, and 6, 7, 8, 9, and 10. Well done. All right. So hopefully your heart's beating a little bit there. Maybe starting to breathe a little harder, but grab a sip of water. And then we're going to go into our next round of exercises. We're going to start with a sumo squat with a chest squeeze. So your sumo squat is done with a wide stance. So my feet are wider than hip width, and my toes are slightly turned out. And then when I bend my knees are going to go in the same direction as my toes. So I don't want my knees to come forward if my toes are pointed out. So they're going to go in the same direction, okay? So with the chest squeeze, we're going to multitask here. We're going to put your hands in prayer position or maybe clasp them. They're going to be close to your body, okay? So you're just like very close to my chest. And I'm going to squeeze against my hands and release, and squeeze and release. So what we'll do is we're going to squeeze our hands, we're going to go into our squat, and then we're going to release our hands as we stand, okay? So we're going to press our hands together as we squat, 2, good, and press, 3. We're going to go to 10, and 4. So your knees are your guide, okay? So if your knees hurt when you do this, you're only going to go as low as your knees say is okay for you, okay? Even if it's just a tiny little knee bend. And then if that's not even accessible to you, and then we can do, and we have you do a wall sit. And so Victoria, if you are having any trouble with this, just either send a little message, and just let me know, then I can show you a modification. Okay, that was definitely more than 10. Okay, and then we're gonna do some more balance work, okay? So I'm gonna just have my chair handy if I need it. And then, like we did in that last round, or I guess in our warm up, we're going to root the toes of the left foot to the floor, okay? And I'm just going to hold up my right leg and I'm going to feel the muscles in my left leg firing, okay? Now I'm going to extend my right leg and I'm going to have my toe pointed up toward my body, so my foot is flexed. I'm just going to lower my heel to the floor, just gently, and I'm going to lift, and I'm going to lower. Good. And my supporting leg, my left leg, has just a slight knee bend. It's just a soft knee, okay? We just don't want to lock our knees out. Good. And then as I'm lifting my right leg, I'm really concentrating on squeezing my quad, the muscles in the front of my leg, to do this lift. Let's do 2 more. Good. Okay, and then we're going to switch to a side leg raise. So what I'm going to do is slightly turn my foot in, almost like if I were in a pigeon-toed position. So I'm going to have that leg slightly turned in so that I lead with my heel. And what that does, it makes sure that I can't swing my leg way up because it's not about how high we're getting it. So we're going to engage the glute muscle on the right side to do the lift. There's 3. Good. 4, 5, 6, good Carol, 7, 8, 9, one more, and 10. So I don't know about you guys, but I'm really feeling my left leg, even though I haven't done anything except stand on that leg, I can really feel it in my glute. So I'm gonna switch my chair to the other side, and we're gonna switch sides altogether. So my right foot is rooted into that floor, really just squeezing, driving my toes down. I'm just gonna lift my leg for a moment, my opposite, so I can really start to engage the muscles on the right side. I really want to feel those muscle fibers firing. And I'm going to extend my left leg. And again, my toe is flexed, my foot is flexed, so my toes are up. And I'm going to lift and lower. We're going to do 10 of these, 2. And so when you lower your leg with control, we just want it to gently just kind of kiss the floor before we lift it again. So we want to make sure we're not dropping that heel into the floor with any impact. Good. 7, I think. 3 more. 8. And that supporting leg should have just a tiny knee bend. Awesome. There's 10. Let's switch to side leg raises. So I'm going to turn the toe of my left foot slightly inward. And I'm going to just do a little lift. And I'm going to focus my energy right here in my hip and glute, kind of the outer thigh. 4 and 5, 6 and 7, 8 and 9, one more. Good. Okay. We're going to do a lat pull down, and we're going to do a straight arm pull down. So what we're going to do, we're going to imagine resistance here. Okay, so we're going to pretend that we have a really tight rubber band right above our head. And we're going to grip it. I want you to really squeeze and make a fist. And you're going to pull it down nice and slow. And while you're pulling it down, you're going to bring your shoulder blades together, and then just think about bringing them together and just slightly shifting them downward. Okay, so we're going to pull again. Good. And then as we release, we're going to not let that band pull our arms up. We're going to slowly, with control, replace our arms up. Okay. And there's 4, and we release, and imagine that band is really hard to pull down. 5, and release, and 6, good, and 7, 8, good, and 9, awesome, and one more, very nice. Okay. So now we're going to do a straight arm pull down. Okay, so the motion is just this. But what we need to do, again, we could just let our arms drop, but we're not going to really get any sort of muscular benefit from that. So what we're going to do is we're going to imagine that we've got like big beach balls underneath our arms, and we're trying to press into them, okay? So we're pressing those beach balls, we're trying to deflate them as we lower our arms slowly. And then with that same kind of tension, we're going to just lift our arms back up. Okay, let's do it again. Press, press. Good. And then we're going to lift. And then we're going to press. Good. So we're just creating the tension in our arms as we imagine the resistance. Okay, so we're pushing down. And then as we're lifting our arms, we're going to pretend that something is trying to stop our arms from lifting. Okay. Let's do it a couple more times. And press down. And let those arms come back up. Relax your shoulders. Press down. I'm not sure if you guys might be feeling this a little bit in the shoulders. Maybe the back of the arm a little bit. Let's do one more after this. And we're going to push with resistance. Good. And then we're going to release on the way up. Good job. Okay. And now we're going to do some step jacks to finish this round. So a step jack is like a jumping jack, but it's low impact. So we're not going to jump. We're going to start kind of in a pencil position. We're going to step out to the right as our arms come overhead. Okay. And then we'll come back to the center before we go to the left side. And then we step out, arms come overhead. Good. Everybody looks great. Let's keep going. Good. We're going to do 5 each side. That was 2 rounds. Here's 30, good. And so we'll just try to get in kind of a fluid motion. You guys look awesome. 4, we're gonna do one more, and 5. Good, okay, we're ready to start at the top. We're gonna do our chest squeezes with our sumo squat. So just a little reminder on that sumo squat, legs are wider than hip width, and our knees are gonna go in the direction of our toes, okay? While we're squeezing. So go ahead and put your hands together. We're gonna squeeze on the way down, and we're gonna release on the way up. And we're gonna squeeze our hands together on the way down, release on the way up. Good, and do it again. And then when we stand, I want you guys to tighten those leg muscles, okay? We have to really bring some intention to those quads and the glutes and the hamstrings. Squeeze on the way down and release. Let's do 2 more. Squeeze and release, good. And squeeze and release. Squeeze, we're gonna do 2 more after this one. And 1 and 2, good, okay. So we're gonna move into our balance work, and we'll just kind of hit it. We're not gonna spend a lot of time with the whole rooting down. I think you know now what we're looking for, but go ahead, I'm gonna start on my left leg. Little knee bend, and I'm gonna really fire up all those muscles in my left leg. And I'm gonna begin with my straight leg lift on my right side, okay? So my foot is flexed, and that helps me to really tighten out my quad as I'm doing this exercise. I can really feel it lifting. 3, good. 4, now this balance work has some added bonuses. So anytime we're off balance or we're trying to do something just on one leg, our core muscles are engaged. So we're kind of getting a little bit of abdominal and back work as we're doing this. This is number 10, beautiful. Okay, so we're gonna turn that toe in just a little bit, and we're gonna do a side leg raise, okay? So again, standing firmly on that left foot, let's go ahead and lift and lower, and 2. Good, so to the degree that you can, try to let go, or just lighten your grip on whatever you're holding on to. Maybe just the middle finger touching your chair will be enough. There's 8, let's do 2 more. 9, and don't make fun of me if you're counting and I'm way off, because I'm always way off my counts. Okay, so we're gonna switch sides now. So our right leg is going to support us, squeezing all those muscle fibers, feeling my glutes. My left leg is flexed, and I'm gonna lift and lower. So I'm gonna show you from the side so you can see it a little bit better. And 3, I'm gonna try to let go. And 4, and 5. So lots of control here on the way up and on the way down. 7, and 8, good. 9, 1 more, and 10. Good job. Okay, so now I'm gonna turn my left foot slightly inward, and I'm gonna lift it, starting with my heel. And 2, so I'm gonna show you from the side here. 3, so it's not a big lift. 4, and 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, and 10. All right, that looks great. Okay, so now we're going to move into our overhead pull down. We'll do 10 of those, and we're going to do our straight arm pull down, okay? So grab that imaginary rubber band above your head. We're just going to pull down, bringing our shoulder blades together, and release slowly, and let's pull 2. Good, and release. And pull 3. Good, release. Pull 4. Up. And 5. 6. Good, and up. 7. Try to feel those biceps engaging. 8. 9. Let's do 1 more after this. And good. All right, now starting with your hands at shoulder height, we're going to imagine some resistance against our hands. We're gonna pull those hands all the way down to our sides, and we're gonna release slowly. Okay, and we'll do it again. 2. But just so you can feel the energy in your arms. Good. And if it's hard to make the connection, one thing you could also do is just make a fist with your hands and really squeeze your hand together. That might help you to sort of feel the energy in your arms and the tension. Good. I think we just have about 3 more of these. Pull down and release. Pull down and release, and we'll do 1 more. And pull down. Good. And release. Okay, so now we're going to move into our step back. So just make sure that you don't have anything that you will whack your hand on. So we're going to start in a standing position with our hands at our side. I'm going to step out to my right, arms go overhead. Okay, come back to center and go to the left. 2, good. And 3, 4, good. 5, and 6, 7, 8, 9. Let's keep going. This is 10. Let's do 10 more. There's 1, and 2, 3, and 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. Last one. Good. Okay, let's do that round 1 more time. We're going to start with our sumo squats. So nice wide stance. Toes are pointed out a little bit at 45-degree angles. We're going to do a chest squeeze on the way down. Here we go. So we're squeezing, and then we're going to lift and release our hands. We're going to squeeze on the way down. Good. Release on the way up. Squeeze. 3. Good. And 4. Good. Send your attention to your legs. 5. Good. And on the way up, I want you to squeeze your inner thighs, your quads, and your glutes at the very top. 8. Good. 9. Last one. Good. All right, let's see how we're doing on our balance work this 3rd time around. So I'm gonna start by standing on my left leg again, and my right leg is gonna get ready to do some leg lifts. I'm just gonna turn myself slightly to the side. So I'm gonna lift and lower. Good. And 2, and 3, 4, 5, good. 6, 7, this front raise really challenges that balance. 9, let's do 1 more. And 10, good. Let's go right to the side leg lift. So my toe is turned in, and I'm gonna lift and lower. And 2, oops, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 1 more. Good. All right, to the other side. So my right leg is supporting me for this round. So let me turn off to the side a little again. My left foot is flexed, so my toes pointed up toward my body, and just do a straight leg lift to the front. Good. And 2. Sending all my thoughts to my quad. Just doing the lifting. And 5. And my hip flexor. 6. And 7. 8. 9. Last one. Good. We're going to turn our toes slightly inward and do a lift to the side. 1. A lateral lift here. 2. And 3. 4. 5. 6. 7. 8. 9. Last one. Good. Okay, we're going to do our overhead pull downs. We're going to do 5 of those this time, and then 5 straight arm pull downs. All right, so our overhead pull downs, we're reaching up for that rubber band, and we're going to pull down. Good. We're going to make sure right here that our shoulders are relaxed. our jaw is relaxed too. We're going to exhale to pull down. 3. Inhale way up. Exhale, 4. Inhale. Good. Last one, best one. Good. And then we're going to release. All right. So we're going to do the straight arm pull down now. My hands are up front. And then exhale as I pull down. I'm also going to bring my belly button to my spine as I do this. Exhale. Good. And just try to create that tension in the arms. 3. And release. 2 more. And 4. And release. Last one. And 5. Good. And release. Good. Okay, we're going to finish this with 20 step jacks. So I'm starting with my hands at my side, and I'm going to step out to my right first, which I know is your left. All right, here we go. There's 1. Hi, kitty. 2. And 3. 4. 5. 6. And 7. 8. 9. And 10. Halfway there. Let's do 10 more. 1. And 2. 3. 4. 5. And 6. 7. And 8. 9. And 10. Excellent job. All right, that was 3 rounds. Let's grab some water. And then we're going to do 1 more segment on our feet, and then we'll do something on the floor or in your chair. Okay. So if you have a chair handy, we're going to do some sit down stand-ups. But if you don't, it's okay. Carol, you can do a squat. So what we're going to, when we do a squat, it's just a sitting down pattern, okay? And we want our knees to stay above our heel. So we don't want to sit and have our knees come forward. And if you do have a chair accessible to you, I'll have you sit. And then just look down real quick. I also want you to be at the edge of your chair. Let me just show you from the side. Okay. So we want to be at the edge of the chair, so we don't want to be way back here. I'm sitting at the edge of my chair, and my heels are right underneath my knees, okay? And then all I'm going to do is stand up. I'm going to try to do it without pushing off my legs, okay? That's the goal. All right, so we're going to stand up. Good. And then we want to reach back from the chair. So we're going to really reach our hips back and stand 2. That looks good, Carol. And reach back. Good. And 3. Good. And 4. So, Carol, you're doing those squats. You can increase your tempo just a little bit. It takes us a little longer with the chair, so you don't have to follow necessarily our tempo. We're going to do 2 more. There's 9. And here's our last one. Good. Okay. And then we're going to march with a reach for 20 reps. So I'm going to bring my left knee up. And when I do that, my right arm is going to shoot up in the air. Okay. And then I'm going to do opposite. There's 2, 3, 4. Good. 5, 6, 7. Really reach. 8. Just don't put your arm up there. I want you to reach like you're trying to touch the ceiling. 15, 16, 17, 18, 19, and 20. Good. Okay, so we're going to do some punches now. And we're going to go into a semi-squat position. So I'm just going to, I can have my feet wide again, almost like in our sumo position. And I'm going to, everything below my waist is just going to be nice and tight. I'm not going to move anything when I'm doing my punches. So I'm static here, and I'm just going to throw punches in front of me, okay? This is a really good cardio exercise. I'm just going to keep going. I'm counting. We're going to go up to some kind of big number. Good job, you guys. That looks good. So really punch intentionally, okay? Just pretend you've got a heavy bag right in front of you, and you're doing a little boxing work. So I kind of lied. I said that my lower body wasn't moving. It's okay to have your knees just have a little bit of a bounce, okay? So you don't have to be completely completely static. All right, let's do 10 more. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. Good. All right. And then we're going to do some side steps. I'm going to come, let me see, move our chair out of the way here. So side steps are literally just a step to the side together, step together. And so we can make them a little fancier if we need to, but for now, let's just get started moving laterally. So we don't often in our daily lives move laterally. We usually move kind of front and back. And so it's really good to challenge our body in these different planes of motion. So if you're just like find yourself in your kitchen waiting for something to come out of the oven, you might want to try some lateral stepping. And then the other thing you can do too with this is pretend you've got something right in the middle that you have to step over. So it causes you to lift your leg up and out to the side a little bit. It can be a little thing or it could be a bigger thing, just depending. Good. All right, we're going to remove whatever's between our legs, and we're just going to do a lateral side step here for 10, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, and 10. Excellent job. Okay, we're going to go back to the top. We're going to do our sit down stand up. And then I'll demonstrate in the chair again. Okay. So we'll start in our seated position. Okay. And then the back is nice and tall. We're right at the edge of the chair. And so let's go ahead and just stand all the way up. Squeeze all those muscles in your legs and your abs. Pull that belly button in. There's 2 and 3. Good. And 4 and 5 and 6, 7 and 8. Down 9. 1 more. And 10. Good. Okay. March with a reach for 20 reps. So we're going to do opposites. As your left leg comes up, your right arm shoots up. 2. Really reach for the ceiling. And 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12. Good. 13, 14, 15, 16, 17, 18, 19. Last one. Excellent job. Okay. So now we're going to do our punching. Okay. We'll go into our little sumo squat position. We're just going to hold that. Feel free to keep a little slight bounce in the knee, and let's just go ahead and punch forward. And if you start to get a little bored of punching forward, you can punch up for a little different direction, and you can punch down. Good. Keep going. Good. And then right now, I want you to think about what your belly is doing. Okay. We want to pull that belly button inward toward our spine. Good. And keep those shoulders relaxed. Make sure your shoulders aren't up by your ears. Okay. 10 more punches. 1, 6, 7, 8, 9. Last one. Good. Okay. Side steps are the last part of this segment, and then I think we're going to move on. So we'll do this and this twice. Okay. So starting to the side, incorporate your arms however you like. They can go up overhead too if you want a little bit more cardiovascular impact. Okay. You got it. And step together. Step together. Good. Step tap. Good. And so even this we can take in different directions. So right now I'm kind of moving in diagonal. Then we can go back to lateral. And then we can switch and go diagonally again. Good. Just again, challenging that body to move in all different planes of motion. It's good for our body and it's good for our brains too. Okay, let's do 10 more. There's 1 and 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. Last one. Good. Did we do all of that? Yes, we did. Okay. So for those of you who can come down to the floor, I'm gonna have you do so. We're gonna start in a seated position. Carol, go ahead and you can sit in the chair. And we're gonna start with, I'm gonna turn myself to the side a little bit here. So for those of you who are on the floor, we're just gonna start with a little bit of a roll down. It's a Pilates move. And I want you to just, if you haven't done ab work lately, we're gonna start on the safe side of things. Hold on behind your legs and just watch my back. My chin is a little bit tucked, so I'm not going down with a flat back, okay? So my lower back is kind of leading the show here. And then I'm gonna come back up to sitting with a nice tall back. So I'm gonna roll down. You don't have to go all the way to the floor. You just decide. Let your abs help you decide how low you're gonna go. So we can go down and come back up. Good. And then, so Carol, were you good to go all the way to the floor?
I was.
You're okay to go all the way down? Good for you. And then you can keep your hands on the back of your legs to help you up. And when you come up, I really want you to tuck your chin. But if you feel like you're having to force your body up, if you cannot come up with control, we'll just stop a little bit shy of the floor. So we can go down to my lower back touches, and then I come on back up. All right, and then Carol, you're already doing it, I can tell. So in your chair, Carol Daglish. So I'm just gonna hold on underneath my chair, and I'm just gonna begin by rolling, pulling my belly, rolling my low back down toward the seat of the chair. So I don't have a flat back here. So just rolling back, coming up. It's the same thing that Carol and Victoria are doing on the floor. It's just a little shorter range of motion. Good. Yes. Good. Let's do 2 more of these. 1 and 2. Good. Okay. So now I'm going to have you lie all the way down and stay there on the floor. And we're going to do a little bit of deep breathing. And then Carol, you're going to do it. Carol Daglish, just sitting in your chair. Sit up nice and tall for me. And what we're going to do, we're going to relax our body, relax our head on the floor. And I'm going to pull my belly button down to the floor. So I'm going to do a long exhale. As I exhale, I might feel my pelvis tilt a little bit, which is fine. So a little pelvic tilt there. And then my belly button is really trying to reach the floor. Okay. This exercise works the inner core. It's called our transverse abdominis. And it's really very important. It's responsible for holding us up, okay? And it helps our balance as well. So this is a very simple but effective exercise. We can do this in bed, when we're going to bed, when we're waking up. And then when you get good at it, you can even do it just seated. And then sometimes I even do it while I'm sitting at a stoplight. Okay, let's do 4 more of these. So a long exhale. And drive that belly button into the floor. See if you can feel your glutes squeezing, maybe a pelvic tilt right there, and then release. Let's do 3 more. Long exhale. Little pelvic tilt, pulling the belly button down to the floor, and release. 2 more. Long exhale. And then release. And 1 more. Long exhale. Good job. So from here, the people on the floor are going to go into a glute bridge. So you're going to lift your hips up off the floor and squeeze your glutes, and then you're going to lower back down. We're going to do 10 of those. And Carol, you're just going to do a seated glute squeeze. Okay. And you're just going to squeeze your glutes. You might feel yourself lift off the floor just a little bit, or lift off your seat and up. And lower slowly, and lift, pushing through the heels. Lift your hips up as high as you can get them. And Carol Daglish, this exercise, your glute squeeze can also be done in a standing position if you felt like that is more effective, or you felt it more. Okay. So now if we're on the floor, I want your left leg to stay bent. Your right leg is going to be extended. And we're going to do a leg circle. And Carol Daglish, I'm going to show you the seated version. So you're gonna lift your leg, we're gonna just drop it off to the side a little bit. So you don't want it to be like 90 degrees. We're just gonna take a nice, easy range of motion here. And you're gonna do 5 circles with going one direction. And then I want you to repeat going in the opposite direction. So we'll do 10 total like circles. I'm gonna come up to my chair. Carol, if you're seated, you're gonna do the same thing. We're just gonna take a nice, kind of a small circular range of motion. So I'll show you on this side too. So I'm at the edge of my seat, my left leg is bent, and I'm doing a little circle with my right leg. If it starts to feel too tender up in the hip flexor, you can bend your knee and do the same thing, okay? Or we can also try it standing. And then maybe we do, I don't know, just depending on how they feel, you could do 2 or 3 one direction, and then we're gonna move it the other direction, okay? Good. And then, Carol, you will switch legs, seated. And then if you're on the floor, when you're ready, we're gonna switch legs, doing 10 total circles, 5 each direction. And we're aware of what our core muscles are doing right now. Our lower abs are involved, helping us to lift that leg. And then we're going to do the other direction. Good. Excellent work. Okay. And then we're going to do some toe taps. Okay, so I'm going to start with my friends on the floor. We're going to have your legs in a tabletop position. And we're going to just drop a toe to the floor and come back up. And we're going to do a total of 20 alternating, okay? And we want to keep that low back safe, so there's no discomfort in the low back while you're doing this. And then if you do have discomfort, I'm going to have you keep one foot on the floor while the other leg does a toe tap. And then Carol Douglas, you're actually going to do the opposite of a toe tap. You're going to keep your toes, heels lifted, toes on the floor, and I just want you to lift a leg, and then you're going to do a toe tap that way, okay? And let's do sets of 5. There's 4, and we're going to try sitting really straight and tall on this exercise so that we're not rocking back, okay? In fact, you can bring your shoulders forward a little bit and you might feel it a little bit more in your abdominals. So we'll do 5, 5, 5, and 5. Good. Look at that other side. Looks good. All right, then for those of you who are on your mats, I'm going to have you turn over to a kneeling position. And then, Carol, you're going to do Carol Davidge, a standing march with reach, or you can do it in your chair as well, depending on how you're feeling. And so if you're on the floor, you can come to your hands and knees comfortably. We're going to do that upper dog exercise. Okay. So we're going to extend, we have a nice flat back. I'm going to extend my left leg, and my right arm is going to come up, and I'm leading with my thumb, and then coming back to center, and then I'm going to do the other side. Good. So as I'm doing this exercise, when I extend my leg, I'm really pushing my heel toward the back wall. Okay, so I'm lengthening my leg right there. And when I do that leg lengthen, I really feel my abs contract. Good. So we're going to lift. So our hand is in a neutral position with our thumb toward the ceiling. Good. Let's do a couple more. We'll do one more each side. Good. Looks good. All right. Okay. And then if you're on all fours, this is really, really challenging. I just want you to give it a try. My toes are curled and dug into the floor. I want you to try a hover where you just bring your knees off the floor about 2 inches and just hold it for like 3 to 5 counts. So we hold 2, 3, 4, 5, and then just release down. and maybe do 2 or 3 more of those. If you find that the 5 seconds passes by and you can stay there a little longer, go ahead and stay there a little longer, okay? But that is a really difficult exercise. And it requires a lot of core engagement. That looks great. Super good for our balance too. And then, so Carol, what I'll have you do, is your chair against something right now? Or is it, so can you do this without your chair sliding? Otherwise, I just want you to put it near the floor. I don't know if you have carpet. Good. And then what I want you to do is just walk your feet out. And you're just going to support yourself with your arms. Do you feel okay there? Do you feel okay?
Yep.
Don't drop your butt. I want you to arch your back. So, really, if I put a marble on your shoulder, it would roll all the way down to your heel. Good. That's a hard exercise. Beautiful. Okay. So, are you guys up for 10:22? Goodness me. Okay. Let's go through some of those one more time. That ab work is so good for us. So we're going to start with that in a seated position, and we're just going to do the roll down, okay? And let's just do 3 of them, and then we'll move into some of our other exercises. So we're going to lower down, chin is tucked, good, and come on up. And lower down. It's okay to have your hands on the back of your legs. They really don't help that much with the pulling up. But to do it without is much more difficult. Good. I think we have one more. Good. All right, and now we're going to roll all the way down and stay down. Knees are bent, feet are flat on the floor. And then we're going to do our deep belly breathing, okay? And so, Carol Daglish, you just do that in your seated position. And so we're going to do a big exhale. Little pelvic tilt. Try to bring that belly button to the floor. And release. Do that again. Engage that core, y'all. Feel those muscles in the belly. Good, and release. And we'll do one more. Big exhale. Nice. From here, we're going to go right into our glute bridge position. So we're going to lift the hips off the floor, squeeze the glutes. Come on back down. Lift and squeeze. And lower. Lift, squeeze. And lower. And you might even be able to feel this exercise now in your lower abdominals from the work that we did in the last segment. Because they're really waking up. Lift and squeeze as high as you can. Lower down. Let's do 2 more. Lift and squeeze. Lower gently and back up for the last one. Good. And lower down. Okay. Now we're going to do our, we've got our leg circles. So we're going to do our lying leg circles. My left leg stays bent and my right leg is going to do a circle. And then you might want to just put your fingertips on your lower abs and see if you can feel those muscles doing the lifting. Sometimes when we just bring attention to the area, now you can reverse your circle. We start to really engage the muscle more than using momentum. Good. Okay, we're going to go ahead and switch legs. So we're going to keep your right leg bent now. Just helps to provide a little extra stability for the low back. You also want to make sure that your hips aren't rocking or lifting off the floor. Okay, this should just be about the left leg. 2, 3, 4, and last one. Good. Okay, we're going to just use some toe taps now. So my legs are in a tabletop position. And I'm going to just lower my right leg and then my left, touching my toe gently to the floor. Good. 4, 5, 6, and 7. And as that toe drops, that's when you really want to bring that belly button to the floor again, kind of like we did when we were doing that breath work. Good. Give me 2 more each side. Good. Okay. So let's go ahead and our last exercise for today is going to be the bird dog. So come on up to all fours, and then Carol, you can do your marches for each one last time, or you can do cross connects if you feel like it. So we're on all fours. I'm going to extend my right leg, and my left arm comes up, thumbs to the ceiling, and I'm going to bring it back to my mat. Switch sides. Good. And really think about lengthening your leg, and your heel is going to touch the back wall. Good. Let's do 2 more of these each side. So there's right and left. One more time on the right, and one more time on the left. Very nice. So if you're on the floor, we can go ahead and just drop into a child's pose. So knees are wide on the mat, and then just extend those arms. Carol, I'll have you come back to your chair. And again, you're going to scoot to the edge of the chair a little. And oh, you went ahead and did your plank too. Good job, you. Well done. But a good way to do that child's pose and kind of get the same benefit if you're ever in a chair and you just need a little stretch break, sit at the edge of your chair and you're just going to lean forward. And I'll show you from the side. Let's see at the edge of my chair. My legs are just wider than hip width. I'm just going to lean forward to the floor. And if you can't reach the floor, maybe you can reach your shoes or your shins. But this is just a really nice stretch for the low back. And you can kind of walk your hands to the left to get more of a stretch in your side. Walk them over to the right and you'll feel a stretch in your left side. Okay, let's do a hamstring stretch. I'm going to start showing it in a chair, but I'll show you guys standing. You can also do it on the floor. Well, I'm going to have my left leg bent, my heel is underneath my knee, my right leg is extended, and my foot is flexed. And I'm just going to lean in to that leg. And so if you're seated, what you guys can do, tuck your left foot in, and then extend your right leg. And if you flex your foot and have your toes coming toward your body, that stretch is a little bit more impactful right away. If you have your foot pointed and relaxed, that's okay too, and you can stretch down a little further maybe. So just play with that a little bit. See what feels the best. And then when we're stretching, you really want to try to relax and think about our breath. Nice long exhale. And as we exhale, we might be able to get that stretch a little further. So let's switch sides now. So on the floor, I'm just bringing my opposite foot in. My left leg is extended and I'm just leaning in to that leg. And then Carol, you would just Carol back and switch. Nice big inhale and long exhale. One more time. And exhale. Ladies, thanks so much for joining me today. It was great.
Thank you so much.
Yes, you're welcome.
That was a nice way to start the Monday.
Yes, right? Yes, it gets our week off to a good start. Absolutely.
Yes.
And Carol Daglish, it looks like your shoulder mobility is much better.
Yes, I don't know why, but it's doing well.
That's awesome. I love it. So happy for that.
Thank you.
All right. Y'all
We'll
have
see you in 2 weeks.
yes, see you in 2 weeks.
Thank you.
Bye.
You're welcome.
Bye, Victoria.
Bye.